What is going on, everyone? My name is Thomas Miner. I'm an agent with Remax Precision. This is Thomas Talks on Thursday. This is a live stream that I started at the end of last year. I do this every week, and the idea is I don't just want to supply content to people that are the things I want to talk about. I want to talk about what everyone else is interested in. So, whatever that may be, if you want to know more about the Des Moines area, if you want to know more about the Des Moines area real estate specifically, if you want my opinions on national real estate news, that is what this is here for. And the cool thing is because this is live, you guys can chime in and keep the discussion going if I talk about anything that is even more interesting to you. So, how I start the show is talking about some things that I think are interesting to me, and then I end the show every Thursday morning. I do a post basically commenting, asking for people's questions. So, if you follow any of my pages on Instagram or Facebook, you will see that post every Thursday morning. And I would love for you to comment on those or comment on this live stream to start the discussion. So let's start with some things that I find interesting. We got another Quick Star coming to the West Des Moines area. Quick Star is quickly taking over the Des Moines Metro and building lots of new convenience stores and gas stations. This one is right on the corner of Westtown Parkway and Valley West Drive. It is right across the street from Valley West Mall. They are tearing down the old Iowa Realty corporate office to build this. I think that this is a great location for them. They're investing in an area that West Des Moines has plans to revitalize. Last I heard from the city developers in West Des Moines, that Valley West Mall area, the owners of it went bankrupt. It sold to a bank. West Des Moines and the bank that bought it are looking to sell it to a developer, and hopefully they're going to end up turning it into kind of what would be similar to Prairie Trail and Ankeny, kind of like the Jordan Creek area. More green space, not just a concrete jungle. So more shops that you can pull up right next to, some new restaurant options. So I think it is great that Quickstar is going ahead and investing in this area. Also, not to mention, if you get off of 235 on that Valley West exit, there is a Shell gas station that's pretty small, but that's really your only option for gas stations. So it's nice when you get off an exit that there's more than one option. And Quickstar, in my opinion, is the best in the game. I thought I would talk about that, maybe get a discussion going on that as well. Let me check and see. Oh, yeah. We got Maggie already commenting saying that she is so Team Star and anti-Maverick. Maggie, comment, what's your top four? We got Trisha commenting saying that they hope they don't make detours to work to stop there. I don't think that they're going to have to make detours for that project because it is that lot that Iowa Realty corporate office sits on is huge. So I really don't think that they're going to have to do anything with Westtown Parkway or Valley West. I think that they're going to be able to tear that thing down and just build there. I'm interested to see. It seems like there's going to be a lot of extra space, unless it's like the biggest Quick Star ever. But the big thing I want to get people's comments on is what I'm about to talk about here. My Mount Rushmore of Iowa gas stations. If I were to make a choice on which one I am stopping at, I drive around the Des Moines area all the time, have to stop at the gas station because I have the tiniest bladder in the world, and, things happen. So here's my top four. I want to see if people think I'm crazy or if they totally agree with me here. Number one is Quickstar. For those of you who don't know, Quickstar has been very, very popular in Northeast Iowa and Eastern Iowa. I am a UNI grad, so I all throughout college learned to love Quickstar. That Quickstar is right off of campus. I went to that Quickstar all the time. Number two is Quick Trip. Best trained cashiers in the game are at Quick Trip. Number 3 is Casey's, purely just because of Casey's Pizza. That's just my opinion. Casey's is awesome because of their pizza. And then Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh, it's a really, really good option. They actually probably have the best selection of like miscellaneous groceries if you don't want to fully go to the grocery store. Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh has the best options on that. But that's my top 4: Quick Star, Quick Trip, Casey's, Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh. Am I crazy? Okay, we got Maggie. Oh, we got Trisha clarifying that she is going to personally stop at Quick. Yep, that is a big thing. Is that you need to show a little bit of self discipline and not stop at Quick Start every morning. They also have a daily deal too for food. As someone that is a degenerate and addicted to gas station food, it is very hard to not stop and get whatever the daily deal is at Quick Star. Maggie's top 4 is Casey's because of the pizza, Quick Star, quasi grocery store, Quick Trip, and then Love's. Love's is really, really good. That's a good shout out. There's not a ton of Love's in the Des Moines area, but that's a great, great gas station to stop at if you're on a road trip. And then Trisha commented saying that she lived right across the street from that Quick Start Cedar Falls. I never lived right in that area. I also feel like I know exactly what apartment Trisha lived in college then. So that is very, very fun to know. Let's pop into one more. Well, we got a question from my dad. This is a little off topic of real estate, but my dad likes to pick on me and ask dumb questions, and I answer all the questions that get commented, not just some of them. So he explained why the scoreboard is the only statistic that matters in the football game. Herm Edwards, I believe, said you play to win the game. And when you're professional football players, or even, well, college players get paid now too. That's the point, is you play to win the game. And what matters is that your score is higher than the other teams. So I don't know what else he really wants me to say. There are certain other statistics that lead to you scoring more points than the other team, though. So this is a conversation me and my dad get in all the time. It's a dumb question to talk to you about on this, though. I got to pull up one thing really quick because I got some interesting numbers for this one. He said, explain what you think the current supply and demand dynamics are in our local market. Are builders keeping up? Are sellers holding back? We need to know. So are sellers holding back? This is kind of interesting because I feel like a lot of last year in 2024, you hear me and other real estate agents talking about, or what people are calling the golden handcuffs. We ran into a market in 2020 through 2023 where interest rates were so good that basically anyone that purchased or owned a home at the time either refinanced or got a new home loan for an amazing interest rate. A lot of people I know that bought or refinanced around that time are in the high 2s, low 3s, and a lot of them, because of what that makes their monthly payment at, feel kind of stuck, and it would make it hard for them to sell that current place and upgrade without increasing your monthly payment a ton. So that's kind of a situation a lot of people are in. I will say, though, if you look at the Des Moines market right now, we currently have right around 3,800 listings, which is basically the highest it's been in the last 8 years or so. Well, it was a little higher a few weeks ago, but we're currently at an inventory spot that we're sitting better than we were after COVID. So we have quite a bit of inventory on the market. And then the other statistic that a lot of real estate agents like to talk about is months of inventory. So what months of inventory means is if we were to get no new listings, how long would it take us to sell out of our current inventory? And that can normally give you a really, really good idea on if we are in what's called a buyer's market or if we are in what is called a seller's market or a neutral market. So, just to give you some context, if you look at all homes listed on DMAR right now, we're at about 4 months of inventory. So that would be considered um, basically a seller or a neutral market. If we were to look at existing homes, so resale homes, so not new construction, we're sitting at about 3.1 months of inventory. That's starting to lean towards the seller's market. So the sellers would be advantage in that market. If you're to look at existing condos, we're at 4.3. If you were to look at just new construction single family homes, we're at 5.8. And then if you're looking at just new construction condos and townhomes, we're all the way up to 8.6, which would be a very strong buyer's market. So if you know anyone looking to buy a new construction townhome, it would appear that there's a lot of advantageous spots to get in there. So are builders keeping up? Yes. I think builders, for the buyer demand that there currently is in the market, builders are keeping up. The issue that we're running into is we probably still need just a little bit more inventory. It depends on what you want to see get done. If we want to see prices actually go down, we need to see a big growth in inventory. I honestly like where the Des Moines market is at right now. I like being in a neutral market. It makes it realistic for sellers to sell, and it makes the buying process a lot easier. There's way less multiple offer situations in the market that we're in right now. But sellers still get a reasonable price for their home. Their homes are listed for a reasonable amount of time. And it's kind of that Goldilocks. I really, really like where our market is at right now. The next few months is going to be really, really telling. There's a few different things that could possibly happen that we could see some shifts in the market. We got a new Fed chair coming in uh, the middle of this year. So that could potentially they're signaling that that could potentially mean that the Fed rate goes down. Fed rate isn't directly tied to mortgage interest rates, but if the Fed rate goes down, more than likely mortgage interest rates will go down. If mortgage interest rates go down, I think we'll see a lot more buyers come into the market. And that could potentially mean that our current inventory won't keep up with the buyer demand. Um, the other thing that we're going to see in the next few months is just the seasonality of real estate. We're going to see a lot more listings come onto the market in these next few months. It's going to slowly but surely start to build. I've already seen a lot of people starting to talk about listing their home for spring, summer. So you'll see a lot of inventory come onto the market. And then it's also because those people that are selling the homes more than likely need somewhere to go. That's also when you'll see a lot of buyers come on the market. So as this inventory grows, are we going to get equal amount of buyers come into the market too? Will be the big question. Because if we get a big growth in inventory and we don't get the expected amount of buyers to come in, supply and demand, we're going to see a lot more buyers markets, and we're going to see prices either stay flat or maybe go down. I'm going to really quickly run through and see if we have any people commenting, but it was a short episode for me this week. Didn't have a ton of big real estate news that caught my eye, and I don't want to waste your time talking about stupid stuff. I thought the Quick Star thing was interesting. I'm very, very interested to see what happens in the Valley West Mall area. I think there's a lot of potential. That's a lot of land that's over there. They got a whole parking garage that they probably really don't need. They got a big old mall with a ton of empty shops. And I'm really, really excited to see what they possibly repurpose that as. As always, if you're watching this later, still go ahead and leave a comment. I will definitely talk about your questions next week. And have a great week. Fellas, public service announcement. Don't forget what Saturday is. It's Valentine's Day. And we should all take it seriously. We should all treat our significant others great every single day. But it's nice to have one day on the calendar to remind yourself we don't deserve the wives or significant others that we have, and we need to treat them well. So don't forget that. I haven't forgotten. Totally haven't forgotten. So have a great day, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you.